Good morning, welcome back to the channel, and today you find me in a hotel room in Aberdeen. To find out why, come back after this. Today's video is sponsored by Heart of the Tribe Gallery, where art meets community. More about that later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of an era. I'm stood by the very last Aberdeen to Penzance train here today. This has been running for 100 years before they decided to scrap it. As of next week, it will only go as far as Plymouth, which I think is a crying shame. But there you go. So we're here to witness this, we're here to ride it end to end. We're going all the way to Penzance to have a look at the very last time this iconic train will run. And maybe we can find out from one of these people here why they've decided to cut it. And here we go. And at exactly 20 past 8, the Aberdeen to Penzance train pulls out for the very last time today on Monday the 16th of May. Let's go and enjoy the journey. Nice to see the old IC 125 still in use in Scotland. So let's have a look at this iconic journey. I have just set off on a train journey that is going to last for 774 miles. That's an awful long way. And it's going to take about 13 hours and 20 minutes to complete. And is, up until today, the longest railway journey you can do on British Rail. During the course of this, we will stop at During the course of this run, we will stop at 35 stations. There's a list in the description below of everywhere we stop. It reads like a where's where of the UK, it really does. But yes, and we've got a beautiful day for it as well. So let's sit back and enjoy the journey. And here we are arriving in Stonehaven, the first of our 35 stops on this route today. So first things first, let's go and have a look at the train. I believe down here we've got some food. Check out the toilets while we're here, do a toilet check. Now we're right at the beginning of the journey, so it should be nice and clean. Close it. Lock it. So we've got toilet roll is good. Toilet needs a flush. There's an emergency call. Nice look at a view. And let's check the soap. And we've got water, no soap, no dryer. Oh dear, that's not good. We've got water, no soap, no dryer. Oh well, let's continue. I think somebody said down here we've got food. Let's go and have a look. Are you coming up to take orders?
Yes, I'm doing.
I'm going to go and sit back down then. Save me a walk. Well, that makes life easy. I met the lady coming the other way, so she's going to come and take my order, which is much better. We do seem to have an awful lot of train staff on board today. I wonder if that's anything to do with the fact that this is the last running. I don't know. There wasn't this many people coming up yesterday. Let's hope it's a better service than the one coming up. This is interesting. I've been handed this, which I believe is a breakdown of the route and the places we're going to call at. So we'll have a look at this. One thing you see an awful lot of up here is windmills. Some people hate them and they're a blot on the landscape. I would rather look at windmills than a power station any day of the week, especially a nuclear one. There is almost a party atmosphere on the train here today. The staff are all upbeat, there's lots of them. We got what looks like senior management walking around handing out leaflets and pamphlets. And there's several YouTubers on the train, so all in all, it's a good day out. So before we pull in at the next station, let's have a quick look at the seats. The padding is firm. The headrest is at head level. It's a good height. It's firm. I would like to say it's very firm. These are desperately in need of a rejuvenation, a recycling, or whatever you want to call it. They need life breathing into them, because this is cross country is a long distance offering. It doesn't do short journeys, and I think when you travel on a train long distance, I think you should expect better seating. I think you should expect better service, because you're on the train. I mean, today this is an exception. We're on the train for over 13 hours. But I mean, you know, if you say an average train journey, 4 to 5 hours on a long distance train, maybe 3 to 4 hours, I don't know. We're not a very big country. But I still think you should have better accommodation than you'd have on a commuter train. I have ridden commuter trains that are more comfortable than these sets. So I mean, that's just me. It's not a grumble, it's a comment. It's a comment. Every railway in the world has trains that aren't as good as they could be. This gives you a smooth ride though. But yeah, I mean, look at this, look. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. It's worn out. The seats are grotty. It needs to be taken apart and rebuilt from scratch, because the trains themselves I think are okay. It's literally the accommodation inside. Anyway, I think we're approaching our next station any time now. Morning. Well, here we are at Montrose, home of my favourite YouTuber, Steve Marsh. If you're watching this, Steve, nice to be at your station, buddy. This chap from the railway's running around, he's doing an awful lot of work. I hope they're paying you extra for this. On the opposite side is the wetlands area. We're now travelling over the North Usk on the Usk Viaduct. This string girder bridge of 15 spans was completed in 1881 and was in fact the second to be erected on the spot. The first one having been tested to destruction. The reason it was tested to destruction was because its designer, Thomas Bouch, was responsible for the first Tay Bridge, which collapsed. More on that later. This is Arbroath. Arbroath once was famed for sail making and for boot making. So there's a link there to Somerset. Famously, it made the sails for the Cutty Sark. But now it's chiefly known for its wonderful smokies. Smokies are line-caught haddock smoked over wood chips. And they do it here and they're to die for. Absolutely to die for. So there we are. That there is Arbroath. As we wait here at Arbroath station, here's a fun-filled factoid for you. During the 13 hours of this train ride, we will spend approximately 2 hours stood not moving, just like this. So get used to it. And here we are, arriving in Dundee. Home of Dennis the Menace, the Beano, the Dandy, the Sunday Post. DC Thompson comics were based here. One thing about historic train rides is you tend to find other YouTubers. There's one over there, look. And here is our first view of the Tay Bridge across the River Tay. Now, as we approach the bridge, if you look down in the river, you can see running parallel to the bridge stones set in the water. These were the supports for the first Tay Bridge, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So as I say, this is the second bridge, and the abutments you can see below belong to the first bridge, which is famed for the disaster that took place here. This is Thomas Balsh's ill-fated Tay Bridge, which partially collapsed during a gale in 1879. Sadly, a train was passing over the bridge as it collapsed, and all 75 passengers and crew perished in the waters below. Interestingly though, the locomotive was brought up from the riverbed and restored to use. This second bridge that we are now crossing on was built and completed in 1887, and I wonder how long people were before they were confident crossing it. Today's Tay Bridge was opened in 1887 and was designed by W.H. Barlow after extensive tests on the effect of wind on the structures. The new bridge is 3,570 yards or 3.264 metres long and was the last of the Great Wrought Iron Railway bridges to be built in Britain. And now here we are at Lucas, where the famous RAF base is just down the road, and St Andrew's Golf Course. So we're going to hop back on. I wonder who will be the first person to get left behind on a train today. One of them will. Let's go. Here we are at Cooper. The Italian station across there was built in 1857 and looks absolutely resplendent. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, I have bumped into the amazing Mr. Chris Riley. With a K, no less. Don't forget the K, because that bit's very important. Now, Chris is on board this train today as part of an odyssey that's lasting 6 days. You're travelling all over the place. I'm going to put a list scrolling up the screen as we speak. And you're on here to make people aware and to promote the work of Seascape.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about Seascape, because they've been going since 1865. They've been going a long time. What do?
Yeah. They assist people who have some sight difficulties, and what I'm doing is I'm travelling across the country to show that even with some form of sight loss, it is still possible to travel on public transport.
Absolutely. And is it getting easier? I mean, someone who has sight loss, is it getting easier for you?
It has its ups and downs.
Okay. What's the downs?
The downs can be that if a train step is too high or too low, I may fall into the train or I may fall out of the train. When I'm getting out. I've had a few bad ones.
So presumably the staff help you on and off when they see you stay?
If I feel I need assistance,
you ask for it.
The train staff are excellent. Most of them actually come up to me and ask me.
They are getting better. Quick question, as a member of the public, what can we do if we see you? I mean, do you need to keep it out of your way? Do you need to take your arm and guide you? I mean, what is the protocol for helping you guys come across here?
Well, what I would prefer is, rather than members of the public running up to me
Yes.
grabbing hold of me
This way, Jimmy.
and saying, right, that's it. It would be more a case of how much can you see? Are you okay?
Do you need help?
Do you need help? Not just a case.
Assuming it.
Not just a case of come on, it's like this. The one thing that you do not do with someone who is partially sighted is grab hold of them. You could scare them.
Yeah, absolutely. Working dogs never go near a working dog when it's working. End of.
Right.
End of. Anyway, Chris, with a K, it has been an absolute honour and a privilege to talk to you, sir. I hope your journeys go well. As you can tell, we've got the guy making an announcement. I think we're about to pull in the station. So well done, and all the good. And I hope that is there a Facebook page people can donate?
Yeah, it's you go on Facebook, you look for Seascape 5.
Seascape 5. I've already found it. I'll put that on a link. Thank you, Chris.
So if you go on, you look for
Seascape 5.
Seascape 5.
I've got the link. I'll put it in.
There is a Just Giving page.
Excellent.
On the description.
We'll go there.
It totally describes what and who Facebook are. No Facebook. Not Facebook. What Seascape are and what they do.
Yeah.
And the story about what I'm doing this week.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Got to go. People getting on the train.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. No, we've got to sit somewhere. We just need to win out.
And as we leave Markin Station, our journey through Scotland continues. And we've made it as far as Kirkcaldy. Out there on the Forth you can see Inchkeith Island, and across the Forth there is Edinburgh. Basically we go up, we cross the bridges which you can see over there, we cross the Forth Bridge and then we come back and we end up back there in Edinburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to Scotland. I can't come home without a bag of tunnocks, can I? Really? Long live tunnocks. Inverkeithing here, the last station before the Forth Bridge. We've arrived. So we're now approaching the Forth Bridge. And here we go. We are on the Forth Bridge. This thing cost £3 million when it was built. The cost was so huge it had to be shared amongst the rail companies that were going to benefit from it. It was designed by John Fowler and Benjamin Baker, who were both knighted by the future Edward V for their work on this structure. This cantilever and lattice girder bridge is 2,766 yards long, or that's 2,529 metres. It required 50,958 tonnes of steel and 8 million rivets, and its 3 towers stand 361 feet above the high water mark. The world's largest cantilever bridge until the opening of the Quebec Bridge over the St. Lawrence River in 1917. Famously, it was never finished painted, and they would start on one side, get to the other and start again. Although I believe the paint changes now and they don't have to do that anymore. And this is us pulling into Edinburgh Haymarket. Now this is Edinburgh's second station and at one point was its most important one. As you can see, lots of people will be getting off at this station and I guess a lot will be getting back on. We'll wait and see. So as you can see, lots of things going on here. at Haymarket Station. We'll be pulling out soon and heading on into Edinburgh Central, or Edinburgh Waverley, should I say. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the classic view of the castle as we approach Edinburgh Waverley Station. Sadly, the windows are filthy. But, you can see the rock it's built on, look. One of the disadvantages of shooting on a nice sunny day is flare on dirty windows. But we'll soon be approaching Waverley. And here we are, we've made it to the wonderful station that is Edinburgh Waverley. We will come back here and have a proper look because this place is amazing. But for now, I've got to get back on the train. Named after the hero Sir Walter Scott's first novel, the station has a sensitive location between Princess Street, the Old Town and the castle, which prevented the construction of anything more demonstrative than a ridge and furrow roof, discreet offices on the wide island platform. We have been doubled in length since arriving at the station here. Well, here we are back in England, having passed into Berwick-upon-Tweed, having crossed the border. And you can tell we're here because of all the YouTubers hanging out of a train. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So here we are at Almath, a little station here that serves the town of Almec, which is a few miles away. So let's get back on the train before we get left behind. And here we are at Newcastle Station, one of very few Grade 1 listed railway stations in the country. It's a lovely place to come to. I really want to come back and spend a bit more time here. It's such a historic station. One of very few Grade 1 listed stations in England. This significant station by John Dobson for the NER was opened in 1850 by Queen Victoria. The train shed was built in collaboration with Robert Stevenson and was first of the great arched roofs with 3 spans. Outside is a long stone porte cochere by John Prosser, who completed the station after Dobson's death in 1865. The restored Centurion bar and brasserie on the main platform is a rite of opulent tiling. And there is the castle.
For all the observers on board, you'll notice that we have reversed formation. This is due to the train strengthening at Edinburgh. So the reserve set was at the rear. So we've had to change the train around, turn the train around here at Newcastle, going over the high level bridges, so that the reserve accommodation is back at the front. That's because the train is strengthened between Edinburgh and Bristol. So at Bristol Temple, the rear 4 carriages will be dropped off, the front 5 will be hauled forward. So we reverse formation, what we are currently doing that, going over the high level bridges through Newcastle, so we can have the train to the correct formation, go when the service splits again at Bristol. We are still at the Penzance train, and we are still stopping next at Durham. After that, we're on to Darlington, York, Leeds, West Yorkshire.
And over there you can see the Angel of the North, the David Gormley statue, high on its hill. Well, here we are at Durham Station, complete with a cafe on the platform. I don't know what's going on in there, but there's a guy in the vestibule with a lot of electronic equipment out. I don't know if we're going to break down or not, but he seems fairly confident, so we'll hopefully not. And that's us pulling out of Durham. And as you can see across the weir there, is the castle and the cathedral. That's somewhere else I last visited with my mum and dad, actually. Quite a long time ago, back in the teens. Here we are coming into Darlington. Heart of the Tribe Gallery is a community art gallery situated near the top of Glastonbury High Street. They host amazing exhibitions supporting local artists, and they have a beautiful secret garden out the back. So be sure to check them out and support local art.